All right. Uh, Hello everybody. My name is Jared Withers, and well, today is gonna be a little heavy. Um, so I'm gonna introduce my two co-hosts here. Obviously, we have Aaron Allman. Aaron, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you for
Of
being here, of course.
course. We have Derek Wilson back. Derek, how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
All right. So before we get started, I'm gonna tell both of you the same thing. Um, Today we're gonna start with some heavy stuff, and we're gonna get into a little bit of politics, and I'm gonna explain why me and Aaron didn't record the political breakdown yesterday. Um, but before we do that, um, obviously, if you guys don't want to uh, uh, be on this while we talk about some heavy topics, obviously I understand.
Mhm.
And I will give you the next few minutes to decide what you want to do. Uh, and I'll bring it back on after we get past all of the sensitive subjects we'll be talking about.
Yeah,
Uh, so I will let you guys make that decision right now.
I'm definitely staying on because I've been wanting to talk about this with you. So
I am
And
too.
all right. So now I'm gonna explain why I didn't get in contact with Aaron because obviously I didn't tell him this. I just didn't contact him. Uh,
mm,
so this will be the first time he's hearing about it. Um, so yesterday we recorded this on Wednesday. So yesterday was Blackout Tuesday, which means that any it started the music industry. Obviously, it went to other industries, but it started the music industry, and it was a way to support the Black Lives Matter movement or the protests throughout the country by not
mhm.
having any work yesterday on Tuesday.
Yep.
So I didn't contact Aaron in solidarity with that. Um, so that is why I did not contact you, Aaron. Is
I
to
totally respect that, man. It's fine.
Yeah.
I had a busy it was a busy kind of a busy day for me anyways, so I totally respect that.
Yeah, so obviously I am a huge BLM supporter, um, being a minority myself, and so that is why we didn't record it because I figured what, technically this is my business,
Mm,
and recording on a day that no one's people moved videos from yesterday to today, in
right.
support of that, like on YouTube and stuff. So you
Yep.
know
Mhm.
what, I decided to stand in solidarity with them. We didn't work either, so there you go.
Right.
All right, so obviously talking about some Black Lives Matter stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, without we gotta obviously talk about the George Floyd murder.
Yep.
Um, so there were two different autopsies done on George Floyd,
Yep.
and the second one um indicated that he was murdered. It was a homicide.
Mhm.
Uh, Recently, I think it was earlier today that we're recording this. The three other cops involved in that have also been arrested now. I think
Yep.
they're all. I think they're all
They're being charged.
murder one.
Yep. They all got charged
Yeah.
Yep.
finally. So
So good. I'm glad that they're all getting charged. Obviously, we can't say that they will definitely 100% get convicted because obviously in the past it hasn't happened. Um, but look, um, I didn't share the black square yesterday, um, on social media. But that doesn't mean that I'm not a huge BLM supporter. I know
right.
Aaron knows I am. Um,
I know very
yeah.
much.
Um, and I I personally, I know we're kind of dipping into politics on this channel, or in this podcast, and I know we have one specifically for that.
Mhm.
And we will get to that. We will start that up again. I promise.
Yeah. And when the time is right, we will start political
That's right.
breakdown again.
That's right.
Exactly.
Now, honestly, just isn't the time, especially with going on in the world. And
Yeah.
so I was totally okay with not doing a podcast yesterday. I wasn't surprised that you didn't message me at all yesterday
Yeah.
because most days you kind of forget to,
Yeah,
or
but
do, or but which is fine. I
Right.
totally respect your decision why you didn't. I respect that.
Yeah. So I'm there is something I want to talk to you guys about though. Have you guys heard about what happened at Lafayette Park in DC the other day?
No.
No.
So there was a peaceful protest in Lafayette Park
Mhm.
uh, during the president's speech about how we have to stop the violent protests. Which I even though I'm a huge supporter of BLM, and I know not everybody associated with that is in like the looting and stuff.
Right.
Um, and I'm sure a lot of people know that. But I agree with not having such violent protests, like burning stuff down, like burning businesses down. It's just not what protesting is about.
Right.
But there was a very peaceful protest. I was getting off track. There's a very, very peaceful protest in Lafayette Park the other day during the president's speech, and even though it was William Barr, obviously Trump had to give the order to William Barr to give to the I'm not sure if you call them military police or whatever, but
National Guard.
no,
No.
it I believe it was actually actual military personnel, like army
Oh,
personnel.
okay.
I could be wrong on that. I just watched one video about it. But
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Anyway, that's not the point. Um, William Barr gave the order to shut down this very peaceful protest. People were just standing around, holding signs, some holding their hands up.
Mhm.
Um, they weren't doing anything wrong. There are videos of it online,
Yep.
and the police force or whatever they were went in and tear gassed everybody and beat everybody with batons and beat a camera crew or beat a camera guy for no reason. Just being really violent, and that's how violent protests start. A lot of the times is that the police all they know is, well, these guys might do something, so we have to do something first. Obviously, that's not all the time, but that is the majority of the time. That's how it happens.
Right.
Um, so even though I agree with we need more peaceful protests, doing that really sends a signal to everybody that no matter how you protest, it honestly it just really doesn't matter at this point. No, the police don't care. The president doesn't care. Most of the governors don't care. And I really feel like that's why a lot of people turn to looting and burning stuff down, is because their voices just aren't heard. Um, I'm talking a lot. Uh,
No, you're good.
Aaron, you have anything to add to that?
Honestly, I don't know because like it's like I don't really like I don't really follow what's going on. Like I hear this and that. You know,
Right.
Right.
but I mean, um, yeah, like I'm all for the peaceful protesting. I support that shit. I support it. Um, but like when it starts to turn violent, and then it kind of gets like, well, there's what's the what's the point in
Right.
turning to violence?
Yeah.
Uh, it's it's just I don't know, it's sickening.
It is. It is, but at least for me, growing up here, where I have, I live in Traverse City.
Yeah.
Even though there are some minorities in this community,
It's
it's not really.
predominantly white.
It is. It really is, and I think it's hard for people who live here to really understand like what other people go through, because like if you look outside, I mean there's really nothing bad happening, honestly. Like
No.
I know Derek can attest to this, living here his entire life as well.
Yep.
It's just not the same as most places in the country.
It's not.
um e- Even three of the biggest cities in our state, they're it's like those are the outliers, whereas everywhere else is like all pretty much all the same. Like it's just not like where Aaron lives. I know he doesn't live in Grand Rapids, but he lives 20
I'm
minutes south of
yeah,
Grand Rapids.
I'm legit 20 minutes from GR. So it's
And like I'm sure his community is kind of the same as ours up here.
it's kind of half, I guess. I mean, we have a lot of, because we also have the university. So
Right. um or like Dak living outside of Atlanta.
Yep.
I mean it's just not the same.
right.
No.
um and like me personally, honestly, living up here, um even though I am a minority for all intents and purposes, um I haven't felt like one. I mean, I haven't really faced the same injustice other minorities have in bigger cities, or even just different states or whatever. Um, I only one time have I ever really uh, felt like I was singled out because I looked different than everybody else.
Mhm.
Um,
And the thing is, like, a lot of people are saying, oh, because some people are white, they have more privilege than others, which is true, but like not every white Caucasian citizen has privilege.
See,
No.
okay, so that's another thing I want to hit on. So I saw this really interesting post from uh Sienna. She is a wrestler for those who don't know.
Mhm.
I think is she still in ROH, or is she in Impact?
Uh, I don't know.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
So here, I'm gonna pull it up real quick so I can read it to you guys. So
okay,
for
yeah,
all those who don't know, Sienna is a white wrestler. So I that's why I thought it was kind of interesting just to see it from her.
hmm
Um, I honestly never thought I would uh see that. Here we go. Oh, she wrestles for NWA.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so there's this uh there's this post from her, and it says a guide to white privilege. This is from her account.
Mhm.
It's on Instagram. You can go see it.
Yep.
One, white privilege doesn't mean your life hasn't been hard. It means your skin tone isn't one of the things making it harder. There's plenty of other privileges: socioeconomic, male, heterosexual, cisgender, Christian, able-bodied, but white privilege is perhaps the most enduring throughout history. Two, there's not many in here. Two, white privilege exists as a direct result of both historic and enduring racism, biases, She spelled that wrong. Biases and practices designed to oppress people of color, and it has kind of like a seesaw thing. Definitely go check it out. I'm not gonna explain it to you on here. Not good at descriptions.
You're good,
Oh,
man.
yeah. 3. White privilege means you actively benefit from the. I don't know about this. White privilege means you actively benefit from the oppression of POC. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we're moving on. Systematic racism exists at every level of society, which is true. 5. What should I do with my white privilege? Teach other white folks the barriers to success for POC. Promise to listen to and amplify the voices of POC. Be more than not racist, but actively anti-racist. Confront racial injustices even when it's uncomfortable. So it's not that like white people like are just like are like they're not like like held down as well. Obviously,
Mhm.
if you're poor, no matter who you are, you're gonna get pushed down.
Oh yeah.
It's more that like if you don't, it's it was explained really well on the Young Turks where like that there is actual oh, what am I trying to say? My brain is just so fried
You're
after
good, man.
working so hard.
You're fine.
The studies, jeez, there's actual studies that have been done, like for like certain people who get like my name is my first name is Hebrew, my middle name is American, and my last name is German. It's all white. Um, and I sound like a typical white guy. Um, I don't have the the uh Latino accent that everyone thinks all Latinos have.
Right.
My name sounds pretty generic. Um, so I haven't had a hard time like getting callbacks for like jobs or whatever.
Right.
I haven't been accused of sounding like a thug on the phone or anything. Which it just doesn't happen for certain people.
Right.
Uh, mostly people of color. Uh, including black people. It really centers around where you grow up.
Mhm.
Because a lot of African American people they a lot of them kind of have slurs in their voice when they talk.
Yeah.
Um, they don't have average sounding names. Uh,
Right.
it's just it's harder for that kind of person who has slurs when they talk, who don't have a typical average name, or as most people call it, a white name.
Mhm.
It's just it's harder for those kinds of people to really be active in everyday life.
Yeah.
And there are studies on it. I've read them myself. They're
Mhm.
out there, I promise.
Oh yeah.
Um, just for anyone who thinks I'm making this up, I'm not.
Right.
Um, so it's not that your life hasn't been hard, because I know a lot of people, even some of my
Eminem.
most eminent, like most of my friends personally that I know were poor, and now we're all trying to do what we can to get out of where we were when we were younger.
Right.
uh that's not what white privilege is. It's not that you get
Yeah.
handed everything. It's that some things are easier for you that might not be easier for some other people.
Right.
You know.
And like, see, most people who've been like saying stuff about white privilege, they were like, oh, because they get stuff handed to them easily. I had to tell someone off, and I'm like, here's an example for someone that has probably less white privilege. Eminem,
Yep.
like he had to fight for everything he earned. He, he's a warrior.
Exactly.
You know.
See, that is a perfect example.
Thank you.
It's flipped. So flip it the other way.
Right.
Imagine a black guy, right? And he
Mhm.
lives in an entire, neighborhood, almost an entire city of white people.
Right.
He has to fight even harder. He
Get
has
constantly
to
bullied,
right. Gets
ridiculed,
exactly.
all that.
Made fun of how they talk, how their name, how just anything at all. That's exactly how it feels to
Yep.
be, you know, it's crazy to me that people don't really like. I'm not talking about you guys specifically.
No.
Right.
But a lot of people don't look into what they're talking about, so they just sound stupid. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you don't know what
They
you're saying, and you're just saying whatever
they
whatever
they
someone told you.
they think social media has all the answers.
Right.
And that's just 100 that's a million percent wrong.
Right. Exactly.
That's the last place you want to look for facts like that, social media.
Sure.
Exactly.
I'd say go to the library,
Yeah.
read books.
I
Yep.
mean, not only that, like honestly, just like look at news articles and like not like any news
Mhm.
articles. Like at least make it like something that people generally, favor. You know,
Right, right.
not something that's so slanted to you, what you think.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yep.
but yeah, like Eminem is a totally perfect example.
Yeah,
Right.
because it's like that. Like it is like that to where he had to work even harder. He got
Mhm.
bullied for the stupidest things,
He
and
almost died. Like he was bullied to the point where he almost died.
yeah,
Right.
and
And
it that happens all the time, every
yeah,
single day too.
and it's not just Caucasian people that it happens to. It happens to African Americans,
Yeah,
Latinos, Asians.
Asians,
You know,
especially right now in the time that we're living in.
hmm uh,
Unfortunately to say.
Jewish people, Canadians, even like yeah, Canadians not a race, but it's part of that um s- specter.
Yeah, but fuck Canadians.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously that's a joke for everyone who does like that's like my thing is I just say fuck Canadians. Um,
Fuck the revival.
Yeah.
like so for anyone that doesn't know, um, the reason why I bully Canadians is because everyone bullies Latino people, and
Yeah.
me being of Latino descent, um, I I take it to the Canadians because
hmm
I know they can take it because they're super nice people.
Yeah.
Um,
They apologize when they bump into you in a store,
that's true.
and then they offer
Um,
you a donut.
and then
Yeah.
some Tim Hortons coffee.
Yeah.
Um,
Tim
but that's
Hortons and donuts.
that's I don't mean anything by it personally. It's
We
I
just
don't
joke around.
right. I don't hate Canadian people.
No.
It's just it's just as absurd to say that a Mexican dude is gonna take my job, just like saying a Canadian guy is gonna take my job. Like it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Like it,
it is like it's just insane.
Yeah.
Um,
the nerve some people have to say shit like that. That
yeah,
just
yeah. Like
Right.
it's really funny because being a little darker than everybody else. Um, like working in a retail store.
mm,
I always thought, you know what, like this is gonna happen to me now because I'm darker than other people, and
mhm,
I'm not afraid to be like, oh yeah, I'm Hispanic, like I don't care because that's who I
right.
am.
Be proud. Be proud to be it.
Yeah, and
Like I'm proud to be a white American,
that's
German,
right. Yeah,
you
True.
know. I'm proud of it.
like
Yeah, I may get judged, but
sure.
okay. I'm proud to be what I am.
Exactly.
Uh, but it's like I haven't like I said, I only faced something like that once in my life, and I mean that was in 11th grade in high school.
That's
Um,
crazy.
and it wasn't even like other students. It was actually it's kind of funny. It's actually one of the kindergartens we had at West.
Mhm.
Um, have I told you guys that story?
I don't know.
No.
All right, so we're gonna talk about me for a second. Um, so like I said, I have never really faced any sort of injustice except for this one time. So I was with my friends. Back then we thought we were cool. We had our bandanas around our hands, right? We thought we were
Mhm.
like so badass. And so we're walking around and we're doing whatever. And one security cars comes up like I'm walking and she like sees me and she's walking up to me, and she's like, take those off. I'm like, why? They're not like around my head or anything. What does it matter? I don't see the point of why I need to take these off. And
Right.
she's like, well, some people could think you're like in a gang or something. My friend who had the same things on his hands, she was only talking to me. She was not talking to him. She was
Right.
looking directly in my eyes.
I have to say that's stupid.
And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, really. She starts to walk away. And I'm like, oh, but he can do it and that's fine. And I know I got to her because the next time we saw her walking around, she's like, hey, take those off. I was like, wow, like that's the only time I faced anything like that because I looked different. That's it.
Oh wait, Jared, you have told me that before. I just
I
like
thought I
didn't
did.
I didn't remember if I didn't remember if you told me or not. Yeah, because you
Yeah,
told me about it. And I'm like, dude, that's so much bullshit. The
it
reason
really was.
the fact that she was only talking to you, looking in your eyes only, when it would have like you would have been less mad if she was talking to your group
Right.
of
If she was
friends.
talking to both of us, that's
Hmm.
one thing. But she was
Right.
talking to me because I'm darker. That's it.
That's so stupid.
Actually, Derek, do you want to know who was next to me, like during that?
Hell,
It was Michael Beimer.
are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not.
Oh, ugh.
Oh
I
my
am
god.
not.
That's just.
Ask him. I'm sure he remembers that because I was pissed.
Oh my god.
I was
Right.
Harry,
so pissed.
you
I would have been
remember him,
pissed.
don't you?
Pissed. I
Wow.
could not. I could not believe that happened to me.
I mean, that's
But
stupid.
it is, and that's the only time I've ever faced that. Because again, no matter what I may look like, I'm not an average, Latino stereotype.
Right.
Right.
No,
Like if people like heard you talking, they wouldn't think you're Hispanic unless you
no,
said you were. They honestly like when before I met you, like I heard about you, I honestly thought, you weren't Hispanic. You know?
right? Because
Like
because I don't give off that vibe.
no. So that's the thing, you don't.
No,
No.
But like
and
but
that's because I
that's
have
how
an
you
average sounding voice and an average sounding name and average sounding, likes and dislikes, except for me not liking steak. Um, apparently I'm weird for that. Um, but honestly, like I think before me and Derek met, he said the same thing. Like he's like, "Well, I honestly didn't think you were Hispanic because I don't think he knew that till I told him, to be quite honest."
right.
I didn't know that.
No,
Yeah, see like because you don't give that vibe like, hey, I'm Hispanic, you know?
no.
You don't
Like
give that vibe off.
I have dark skin and black hair, but so does my grandpa, and he's not Hispanic.
No.
Right.
So it's just like most people just don't think of me that way
Right.
because I don't have I'm not like a cholo or anything. I'm just just me.
Right.
I
You're
dress how everyone else dresses.
yeah. Like
Exactly.
you dress the way you dress is perfectly normal. It's not
Yeah.
you don't sag your shorts down, wear bandanas on your head, like kind of slanted. You
No,
don't
I
do that.
don't.
The only time I see you really wearing a bandana is when you're filming your rap videos or like for the Midwest Mafia stuff.
Yeah,
But that's like the only time, and that's when you're in character.
right. That's when I'm doing a character.
Yeah,
Not my everyday life like most Hispanic men around my age.
right.
Yeah.
All right, so do you guys want to stop talking about this for a little bit?
Please, can we
Yeah,
change the subject?
yeah, we can.
Okay.
Let me pull up what I have written up here for the 44th Weathers Media Podcast episode.
Wow.
All right. So we can't completely stop talking about it. Shady Records supported Blackout Tuesday. Eminem went in and shut down everything. Everyone went home that day.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously, Eminem has a lot of black friends. Literally, that's like all his crew.
Yeah. That was
Uh,
his,
so obviously he's gonna support that. Um,
right.
the Brooklyn Nine-Nine cast made $100,000 donation to the National Bail Fund, which bails out anybody that is arrested due to the protests.
Damn.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, Terry Crews and Andre Brower are black. I can't think of their real names. Amy Santiago and Rosa Diaz can't think of their last name or their real names at the moment. They're of Latino descent, so
Mhm.
It all makes sense.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think that's really cool that they did
yeah,
that. Hey.
totally.
Same.
Apple tells anyone who has a stolen iPhone that they are being tracked, so that will be fun to see when that comes down.
Yeah.
All right, so even though we started the Cheap Marks podcast, it won't come out to the day after this one does,
Mm-hmm.
but we have some news to talk about anyway.
Yep.
Kurt Angle turned down an offer to manage Matt Riddle on the main roster. Sounds like he might not be coming back to WWE right away like they wanted. So they don't lose him to AEW.
Right.
Uh, did you guys hear about the Impact Slammiversary package they aired?
I heard about it. I don't remember much of it.
Derek, have you heard about it?
No, not really.
All right, so I don't know when Impact does their shows, like when their shows come out, but they on their last episode, I think it's Tuesdays. Their last episode of Impact Wrestling, uh, they had clips of Luke Gallows, Carl
Ooh.
Anderson, EC3, Rockstar Spud,
Ooh.
Eric Young,
Hmm.
um, who else? Kurt Hawkins, and a Bulgarian flag.
Ooh.
So it sounds. Oh, and they didn't show him in the video, but Zack Ryder. So they're
Matt
also,
Cardona. Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona. They're all supposed to, obviously the Bulgarian flag is Rusev, but they don't have any footage of Rusev because he's only been in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they're all supposed to be signing with Impact Wrestling 3 days before Slammiversary is supposed to be aired.
Nice.
All their 90-day non-compete clauses end July 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Slammiversary is July 18th, 3 days after.
Damn. I'm excited to see EC3 and Rockstar Spud back in Impact.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
I feel like they shouldn't have left, but like I'm kind of glad they did, so that way they could do something in WWE.
Oh, and Mike
And
and Maria Bennett.
the Miracle is
The
back.
Miracle returns to Impact Wrestling.
Right.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it is
The
gonna be fun.
Miracle.
It's gonna be fun.
The Miracle.
Yeah.
I think with Kurt Hawkins they're calling him Brian Myers. I believe
Really?
so.
I believe so. Yes.
Brian Myers and Matt Cardona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doc Gallows, I believe, is what Luke is gonna be called now.
Doc Ellis and Carl Anderson. Yep.
Yeah.
Rockstar Spud and EC3, Ethan Carter the third.
Eric Young, obviously, I think that's his real name anyway.
Yeah, that's the name he used before he even came to WWE. So yeah.
Yeah.
WWE can't take that name away.
Right, just like EC3 or Rock or well, he's not Drake Maverick, he's Rockstar Spud. So
Rockstar Spud.
but now Mike and Maria can actually be Mike and Maria Bennett instead of Kanellis. So
Well, I think they're going to be. I know Maria's still going to be called Maria Kanellis Bennett because that's
right,
what they
but
called
Mike
her
is gonna be
Impact.
Mike Bennett.
Right.
He's actually gonna
Yep.
keep his actual
The-
last.
The Miracle Mike Bennett.
Oh man, it's gonna be great.
Uh,
I remember watching Impact for the first time, and it was oh man, it was Ethan.
Was it when? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, was it when Cody debuted in Impact when he beat up Mike Bennett?
No, I did watch that, but no, when I
That
first started watching Impact,
mm,
I remember, I don't know if it was the first thing or the last thing, but I remember Ethan and Mike, and the belt is right behind them, but also in the middle of them, and they're just staring each other down.
yeah.
I loved it,
I can't.
and then I became a huge fan of the Miracle. So
I can't remember what channel.
The first time I ever watched Impact was in the days of AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
Mark,
What? How am I a
um,
mark for that? How am I a mark?
you are.
In the
Derek, repeat what you said. I did not hear you because Aaron was talking over you.
I can't remember what channel is APEC Wrestling is on.
It's on
Access TV.
Okay.
Because Anthem bought it, and now New Japan has no American outlet.
All right.
Which sucks because I loved watching New Japan on Friday nights on Access.
Oh man, okay, so this is gonna be a bit of a spoiler for anyone that listens to Cheap Mark's podcast on Saturday, but
Yep.
when we did our top 5 favorite matches,
Ooh.
I forgot to add probably my favorite New Japan match of all time.
Mm.
It was during the Cody Kenny feud. Who rules Bullet Club? It's Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah.
Because my favorite spot in that match is when Hangman gets Kenny on his back. You know how he used to get people on his back and then do the backwards pile driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did that on a tape. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna kill Kenny. He killed Kenny, you bastard. I'm like, no. It's probably it's my favorite spot, but it's also I cringe. So I'm like, no, I had to just pull inside myself. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he took that. Honestly,
Right. Yeah.
Ugh.
Kenny is one crazy son of a bitch.
I mean, obviously, he fought John Moxley in a non-sanctioned match.
Yeah.
Jesus,
I remember that.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
So moving on from wrestling, Ewan McGregor spoke on Obi-Wan Kenobi after episode 3. I forgot to read that. So I have no idea what it says. I wrote it down. I'm like, I have to read this, and then I just didn't. So I have no idea what it is. I don't know. I'm like, Jesus. I don't know. Oh, I guess it's kind of entertainment news. Um, for those who don't know, and we didn't mention on the Cheap Marks podcast, AEW is officially announced their toy line. What was that on Double or Nothing, right?
When they first revealed it.
Like,
Yeah.
like actually, like set a date for when it's gonna come out. It
Oh,
was Double or Nothing,
um,
yeah.
yeah, I believe so.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think they had a date before. Like I know they had it in Being the Elite, and they kind of showed off some of the toys.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think the actual announcement of, and it's June. I think it's like mid June.
Mm,
And so that's gonna be pretty cool.
I
They all
can't,
look really close to the actual wrestlers too.
I
uh,
like the way they look. I think they look interesting.
I can't wait to buy them. I can't wait.
Especially like Kenny. Like Kenny's is uh like almost spot on.
Um,
I
I
yeah.
I just got something really interesting.
Yeah.
What?
Um, I was just scrolling through like the Google News. Said that George Floyd. This is what it says for the autopsy report. This was edited 2 hours ago.
Mhm.
It says George Floyd died from cardiopulmonary arrest, and he was also positive with COVID-19. That's what
Mm.
it says.
That neither of the two autopsies said that he had COVID.
But yeah, I don't know.
What
Post.
what what site is that from?
Uh, it's from a news. Hold on. I'm skimming through it right now. Um, I don't know, but like on another one, they said he died from I can't even speak. Asphyxiation, whatever.
Asphyxiation, yes.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, I guess on this one it said he died from cardiopulmonary arrest, which I don't know.
So it means that I think it's the blood from his blood vessels couldn't make it to his brain, so
Oh, right,
basically his brain suffocated.
Yep.
yeah. But they did a post-mortem nasal swab, so
Okay.
but they
Huh.
did that. I guess he was positive with COVID-19 on April 3rd. That's what it says right here.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
well, it's really interesting since no one has ever claimed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like they never said anything about him having coronavirus,
No.
which is
Um,
interesting.
Speaking of COVID-19, I was also just scrolling through the Google News page there.
Hmm.
A dog has tested positive for the coronavirus for the first time in the United States.
What did?
Really?
A dog.
A
Oh,
dog?
So if you remember, um, like a month and a half ago, the CDC said that animals cannot contract the coronavirus.
Right.
right,
Now, it's from BuzzFeed, so I can't be 100% sure that it's true.
I
right.
don't.
Uh, but that would be
BuzzFeed
very
is
interesting
Yeah,
if
that's
this is
pretty
true.
interesting. Huh.
Oh, also, Tiffany Trump, who is the oldest of all the Trump kids, joined
mhm.
in on the Blackout Tuesday Instagram trend.
Mm.
So
Nice.
that's interesting.
Interesting.
Just a lot of interesting things happening, you know.
Yeah, like SpaceX, putting American astronauts back into space, which is also very interesting.
Right.
Mhm.
But you know what? You know what the greatest thing that I just found on Google News?
What?
Hmm.
Ellen DeGeneres attempts a do-over on hashtag BLM statement. I know I'm not gonna say the right thing. Um, Ellen DeGeneres spoke out on the Black Lives Matter movement Tuesday, days after deleting her first attempt to address the matter on Twitter. In a video posted on her Instagram account, the talk show host said she was so sad, was, quote, so sad, and, quote, so angry over the, quote, people who are, quote, getting away with murder, but not before giving a disclaimer to her many internet critics whom she expects will be, quote, in disagreement with what I say.
Huh.
Hmm.
And I mean,
See, the thing is about Ellen DeGeneres is that with all the news that has come out about her recently, I do not think she actually cares. I think it's more of just a stunt to get her name out there
I don't
more.
think she does.
Um, if you guys don't remember, Ellen DeGeneres, um, for some reason, uh, told her crew that they will not be working during this. She actually hired a separate crew, a contracted crew, to do all of her shows from her house, and not the crew that she has had for the past who knows how many years.
Like 15,
Something like
20
that.
years.
And then she cut all their pay so she could pay for the contracted
Wow.
camera.
That's so stupid.
It
Yep,
is.
yep, it is. All right. So I made it back around to that. Unfortunate. Um.
Yeah.
So listen. So before we go,
Yeah.
um, I just want to say, even though I don't do something on social media, I don't talk about politics on my social media. Um, that's why I have podcasts, so I can do it through that, and I can explain it
Mhm.
better than I can on Facebook or Instagram
Right.
or Snapchat for that matter.
Mhm.
Um, there's one more thing I want to talk about. Um, so I know me and Aaron have talked about this before. Um, no matter where you stand on this, it doesn't really matter
Okay.
because it is your right to do it.
Yep.
So there have been people throughout all the protests burning the American flag. Now, before you guys, jump in here,
Mhm.
um, even though I obviously respect your guys' opinion,
Right.
and even my opinion doesn't matter on this, to be quite honest.
Mhm.
Um, because no matter what, if you want to burn the American flag, you can. There was a court case about it. The Supreme Court ruled that it is constitutional to do it because it is part of the First Amendment.
Yep.
Okay? Now, again, if you want to, it's your right. You can do whatever you want. I support anyone who does it because obviously it's your First Amendment. You can do whatever you want. Um, will I personally do it? No. But if you want to do it, that's completely fine. We're gonna start with Aaron. Aaron, what do you think about people burning the American flag?
I find it utterly disrespectful. Like, I just find it so disrespectful because, there are African Americans who've had descendants fight for our freedom. So I feel like that's just spitting in their faces. It's disrespectful for veterans who sacrifice tooth and nail
What
for
if
our
I told
freedom.
What if I told you veterans support it as well?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Because
'Cause-
again, you know, it is your right to do it.
right. But I
Right.
feel like you shouldn't do it, because that's like there's especially with the flag,
Why?
you know, because it's a symbol of freedom. It's
So is the American bald eagle, and yet
yeah,
people shoot those all the time.
right.
See,
But
okay,
I'm just
so
saying like people should respect the flag,
people
you
do
know.
respect the flag. That's the thing, though. Um, like I said, I personally would not, mostly because I don't own an American flag. Um, do I want one? No, not really. Um, again, that's a personal thing for me.
Yeah.
Um, but you see, Aaron, we're talking about it. See that?
Right.
It's we're talking about it. It's it's just I don't know. Derek, go ahead.
Um, my opinion on this is I have to agree with Aaron on this. It's disrespectful. Like it's really disrespectful. That's all I'm gonna say.
Like I get it. It's their constitutional right to do
Yeah.
it.
Like protesting,
But right, right.
which is
And I'm
also
fine.
a right for anyone that thinks it's not. It is because I have actually. It's actually really weird. I've actually had people on my Facebook say that protesting a president back in when everyone was doing that's unconstitutional, which it's not, because protesting is how we get our voice heard,
Yep.
It's our freedom of speech.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
just like burning a flag.
I just don't think you should do it. Like yes, it's in your constitutional right,
Yes.
but I just
You shouldn't do it. My opinion.
You know what's also a symbol?
What?
The Confederate flag.
Yep.
Would you support people burning that?
No.
Aaron?
I mean, again, it's their constitutional right.
Exactly.
And like I support the movement, but what just burning a symbol of American history,
Even if that history is rooted in slavery and oppressing people of a certain color because you think they're not as good as you in whatever way, and owning people to make them do your work, you're still not okay with people burning that flag.
well, I'm okay with the Confederate flag. Yes.
Yeah.
They, that
Okay,
that one can be burned. I don't care.
but so
Just
but you're not okay with the flag that people use to oppress people of a certain color because you don't think they're as good as you, or you think that they deserve what they're getting because they don't work hard. You know what I mean? Like I understand where you guys are coming from. I do. I really do.
right.
Obviously, in our culture, in our country, um, the flag is a symbol of freedom and whatever else you want to put in there. Um, and I'm not like I'm not trying to change your guys' mind. I'm not,
Right.
because I
Right.
know that's not that's not healthy. Obviously, you guys think what you think. I think what I think. Um, but it's I don't feel like it's disrespectful. Because it's your freedom of speech, and when anyone does it, you talk about it. So if we're
I
using the speech thing, then
like
then they're getting your attention.
right.
They're making you aware that they're unhappy with the country that they live. And I'm not saying for anyone to be like, well, they should go back. They should go to whatever country they want. It's like, no, they want to live here. We all live here. We're all from here. Well, most of us are from here,
Mhm.
and we just want to make our country better. So with that, with burning the flag, I feel like personally that they're just trying to get across a message. Hey, something is wrong here. You guys aren't listening to us. Now you are finally paying attention to us. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I just personally I find it disrespectful because I've had family members who fought in in the Navy and stuff. So like I just find it personally disrespectful.
No, I have two.
Like
My two.
I have because I have family in the military right now too. So it's like
Yeah,
Right.
well, I don't have any family in the military right now, but two of my uncles have served in the military.
mm,
Um,
I have a friend that is in military right now.
and I know a lot of veterans. I don't know about them specifically, but I know a lot of veterans are. I mean, they fight for for our rights,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
and since it is our right to do that, a lot of them are okay with it. Now, a lot of them aren't, obviously, which I
mm,
understand.
right.
But I don't know. I feel like at least here, um, in the country that we all live in,
Right.
we
Yeah.
put too much emphasis. We put too much baggage on some. Like honestly, the flag by itself means nothing. It's what we put into the flag. It's like anything
Right.
else.
It's
If we put more emotional, more like baggage into it, then it's going to
mhm,
affect us personally.
right.
Like
Yep.
me, like like if one of my family members wanted to burn the Mexican flag for whatever reason,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm not in that culture.
Mhm,
I've never really been a part of it. Um, and again, I wouldn't mind it
Right.
if it's for a certain reason. Now, if you're just burning a flag to burn it, that's just stupid.
right.
But if there's a reason for it, I feel like we could probably, you know, be like, okay, well, they did this for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I totally get what you're coming across there.
Now, if you're just
Right.
burning an American
Just
flag for no reason, then that's stupid. Like
right.
that's just that's just dumb. And then
It
I could see you getting upset at that.
Right.
But a lot of people, I can't say everybody, but I'm sure a majority of people who do it have a reason.
Right.
is.
Now, again, if you don't have a reason, then I don't know, go jump off a cliff
Right.
because you
Just
don't deserve to.
personally myself, I just find it
Right. Oh,
disrespectful.
I get it.
But I get they're trying to make a statement. They're trying to have their voices heard, and I totally
Right.
get that.
Yeah.
Right.
I just personally find it disrespectful.
It is.
All right.
But
Well, we
hey,
made it to.
it's getting people to talk. So I
That
mean,
is true. Yes. We made it to 59 minutes. Pretty usual time for us to be getting over with this. Um, Aaron, last thoughts on
hmm.
anything? Anything at all?
um, I don't know, man. Just I hope all this gets over with eventually, so that way we can go back to being normal and you know and like just get along with one another. You
Exactly.
know,
Derek, last thoughts on anything at all?
No,
Nothing at all.
nothing. I have nothing.
Wow. Last thoughts for me. So, me and Aaron will be doing the political breakdown here soon. Obviously, yesterday was just a, standing in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. What? One more thing before I leave. So I want to address the All Lives Matter thing.
Right.
So I know, Aaron, I saw your Snapchat post.
Mhm. Yeah,
I saw it.
gosh,
I didn't say anything to you, but I
damn
saw it.
it. Right. Yeah.
Um,
Like I didn't mean any disrespect in it
no, I
whatsoever.
get
Like
it. I get it.
I was just voicing my opinion.
No, I get it.
Yes, all lives do matter, but Black Lives Matter as well.
Yes. Well,
Right.
okay, so there's a song I like.
Hmm.
It's called "White Privilege 2" by Macklemore.
Mm.
Mhm.
Um, in the song, there's no I don't think there's a video for it. In the song, there's at the end of it, there's a man, don't know who he is, don't know what really what he's all about. There's a man talking about um let's say your house is on fire.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Uh the fire department wouldn't put water in all the houses because all houses matter. They put it on the one on fire because that's the one that needs help the most.
Yep.
And I actually put that on Facebook a few years ago. And I got a lot of support for it because, which I thought was kind of weird. I'm like, you know what? Everyone's gonna hate me after this. I'm like, no one's gonna be my friend after this. But I actually got a lot of support for that. Because and I know you meant well, and I know my other friend that said it on Facebook also meant well.
Yeah.
Right.
But the history behind the All Lives Matter thing is to try to take away from the Black Lives Matter movement. Because obviously, yes, in the grand scheme of things, every single life matters. But
Yeah.
just like the analogy, right now in this time period, uh, Black Lives Matter, especially because what has it been 10 years? Like there's always a person of color, usually black, getting shot or dying because a cop or somebody who thinks he's doing the right thing um is like treating the person like the enemy, like they're doing
Hmm.
something completely out of line.
Yeah.
And that's just not how it always goes. That's not how it goes down with most of it.
No.
um so while I agree in the grander scheme of things every life matters, obviously,
Hmm.
well, except for some people, um Nazis mostly. um the the people who say all lives matter in response to Black Lives Matter are people that are trying to be like, oh, well, they say only Black Lives Matter, but that's not the thing. Or else that would be only Black Lives Matter. It's just that right now, that's the house that needs help the most at the moment.
Right.
Um. So yeah, I thought I was gonna say something else, but I'm not.
Right. No, you're good, man. Yeah, like I just didn't see, like I don't follow this stuff a lot like you do, because you're more into the politics and the government and all that
Yeah.
stuff and
Yes.
all that. I don't pay attention to all that. I just
Right.
I don't find government politics interesting. I
Right.
just
Which is completely fine.
right.
Not everybody has to. I would say you should, but you don't have to, obviously.
No.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so while I know you meant what, because I read it and I'm like, I know what he means.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is going to see that, as I'm sure you found out.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just I would say next time you think about doing something, and I'm talking to everybody at this point, if
Yeah.
you're thinking about something, about posting something,
Mm.
really think about what you're posting. Really like research what you're posting.
Exactly.
And know exactly what context you want to put that in.
Yep.
Because even though I know what you meant, obviously
Right.
a lot of people
Not
didn't.
a lot of other people are gonna think the same thing.
Right.
So, which
Right.
Because well, they don't know you as well as I do. Because I know you mean well, and I know you support the movement.
I yeah.
You, it was the way that you worded it. That was the wrong thing.
Yeah. That was
Because
Hell,
yes,
I known Aaron longer than you, Jared. So
yeah, and I feel like people who don't know you that well might
mhm.
have taken it the wrong way. Um, I'm sure they took it the wrong way
yep.
because the next thing was, okay, that's not what I meant.
Right.
That's not what
Right.
I meant to say.
Right.
So yeah, so you don't have to follow politics. Just make sure you understand the context you want to put it in. And make sure everyone knows that context, which is why I like to do podcasts because
Yep.
you can explain what you're thinking.
Yeah, and it gets the point across to everyone listening. You know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Um. So yeah, I
You're good.
I had to put Aaron on the spot
I
because I
kind of
know what he
figured that you
did.
were go. I kind of figured you were gonna go towards that because I saw that you saw my story. I'm like, the next time we do a podcast like this, fuck.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, I had
Um,
to. I almost forgot about it, and then I remembered it.
damn it! You
I remember.
should have just kept forgetting. Yeah, elephants, but elephants never forget.
See, I do forget. I just remembered it. I wish I didn't forget, but yeah. So just I'm just saying for next time for future reference,
Got
know
it.
what you're posting, research it, make sure you know what you're saying.
Right? Yeah. No, I got it.
I would I honestly, and I say this with love, Aaron. I do. I would have hated to be you in that moment when everyone took it the wrong way.
Yeah, it's
Aaron.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh.
oh man.
Ugh.
No, no, you're good, man.
Yeah.
You had to say it.
I had to,
So
because if
man,
I didn't, then I would have to wait a whole nother week, and I can't wait a whole nother week.
right? Yeah, no, it's hard enough, man. It's hard enough.
Yeah.
Plug something before we go, man.
Sure.
Um, guys, don't follow my Facebook and Instagram. It got hacked. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and my Twitter. Um, my Twitter is Derek James Wilson. Follow that because I don't want to make a new Facebook and Instagram. So follow my those follow those two social medias.
All right. Aaron, anything you want to plug?
Same usual stuff. Yeah,
Instagram
Instagram.
Wrestler 616.
Yeah. Normal.
YouTube Aaron Ahmed.
Yep.
Aaron Matthews on YouTube.
Aaron Matthews on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um,
Follow Cheap Marks Wrestling
Cheap
channel
Marks Wrestling. Yeah.
on YouTube. Um. Oh, I think there's one more thing.
Yeah.
Fuck the revival.
Fuck the revival.
Fuck the revival.
All right. For Aaron Ahmed and